So, Tom, of course, everyone's been talking about AI and how it's been used and how can we use it. And I was curious, and of course, I had this question come up quite a bit. But how does our team at Kirkham Iron Tech utilize AI technology to protect our clients? And what can business owners or other companies that aren't clients of Kirkham Iron Tech, what can they take away from that as well?
Oh, well, you just mentioned the buzzword of the year, right? Artificial
Yes.
intelligence, AI. And there's certainly a lot of interest in it. The lay people are always coming to me and says, "Oh my gosh, now with AI, now we're going to really get hammered." And there's some truth to that. But here's the good news. The good news is one of the most effective defensive technical controls, the actual software, defensive software that we require, it's not optional, that we require of all of our clients is a piece of software that the class of this software is referred to as EDR, endpoint detect and response. And it goes by a lot of different names depending on the capabilities. XDR, of course, ours is managed EDR, so that we've got people responding and mitigating and all of that, because there's not 100% good technical control only. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But the good thing about an EDR type product is it uses artificial intelligence to detect the storyline of an attack. It doesn't have to know there's a virus. In fact, many modern day ransomware attacks, and for many years now, most of them don't have a virus.
Mm-hmm.
It's all built in to the capabilities of, say, Office and Microsoft Windows. But because it can detect this happens, this happens, this happens, this is an imminent attack, it can intercede that attack because it knows the storyline of the steps that are executed on the computer to encrypt the files and so on and so forth. Macros being run and, file encryption and, the user behavior. And we've been using it for years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's highly, highly effective. I'm happy to say that since we required EDR of all of our clients, none of our clients have been successfully hacked.
I'll knock on wood
And
for
yeah, it is a knock on wood thing. If you're superstitious, please knock on wood if you're using an EDR, because nothing is 100%. Okay. Nothing. If that were true, the NSA wouldn't have been breached along with other, military level, Department of Defense level defensive measures. And EDRs can be breached even, but so far that's where we are. I hope I can always say that. But what I think what a user needs to know, or what the leader of the company or the manager of the company knows, is what's happening right now with artificial intelligence from the hacker side.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw evidence of this. Many of us in the security business saw evidence in January and February of this year, and now we're seeing it in production. But January and February of this year, we began seeing them test out using artificial intelligence from the psychological standpoint, from the social engineering component of hacking, which stats tell us 95% of successful hacks have a social engineering component. It's just a con job, a scam. And what they can do now, which wasn't profitable for them before the advent of Chat GPT and this type of AI, they couldn't do it before. They couldn't manually research companies at scale to identify relationships within an organization and to actually tailor an email to all of the small to medium-sized businesses when they're doing an attack on 100,000 potential victims or 1 million potential victims. It wasn't possible before Chat GPT. So early this year, we saw that happening. We saw it being tried on us. And since then, it's grown, it's gotten better, and all of that. And I suspect, and we'll find out soon, but I suspect that 95% number is going to go up
Yep.
which is why we are even more emphasizing the importance of training everyone in your organization how to recognize these tactics, how to stop from being conned. And don't kid yourself. You can be conned. Anybody can be conned. And they're good. No broken English, great graphics. Then it looks personal.
Yeah.
Coming from your boss, asking you to do something that's not out of the ordinary. And the next thing you know, you've unleashed a hacker inside your corporate network. So we haven't gotten to the point where we're requiring cybersecurity awareness training, but I kind of feel like that's probably gonna happen next year.
In the near future.
We have to balance what we do with our customer objectives, and we're an outsourced security company, so we don't have the insider influence as much as somebody within the company. Now, for you security officers out there and your CIOs and IT directors, that's something you really need to bring up to management. We need to invest in this because it's not very expensive. And if you implement that cybersecurity awareness program, you're going to cut your company's risk in half. Just doing that. Now, EDRs aren't expensive. Even managed EDRs not really expensive in relative terms to the risk that your company has by not doing anything or relying upon these consumer grade, or what we used to think 10 years ago was the cat's meow, these internet security suites and Norton, McAfee, all these household names, but those are no longer effective for modern day attacks.
And there's two things that I kind of want to pull away from what you had mentioned. One, kind of the overall theme is that these threats are adapting. They are getting better, and of course, are becoming more personalized. And if you're not adjusting your defensive measures, such as implementing AI technology to keep up with the threats, then you're behind, and that risk could be even higher than what we mentioned before. But also by utilizing AI technology from the defensive side of things, you also get the aspect of speed and efficiency when detecting and responding to a threat as well. Because, of course, we all know when you're talking about a cyber attack or just overall cyber event, anything malicious, seconds matter. And so if you don't have the proper tools to detect that threat as soon as it possibly gets on the network, or someone clicked on that email because they didn't have training, and now there's something malicious on their device, if you're not able to detect and respond to that in seconds, utilizing tools like a endpoint detection and response tool, then you're really putting your company at risk by not having the best of breed security tools, and really adapting and adjusting to the threats that are going to be changing every single day.
Oh, absolutely. And a good EDR is going to respond within milliseconds. There's no way us as a human infosec team we have no way of knowing if a user is opening an Excel spreadsheet from an email, and humans just don't have the ability to analyze that and monitor each individual, right? You got a company with 200 endpoints or 200 users out there, who knows what's happening. That's prohibitively expensive. So AI allows us to not only, in most cases, stop the attack and notify us that we need to look into it, investigate it, make sure nothing else is going on. But it like I said, in most cases, not only will it freeze it, but one of our primary EDR tools will actually roll back files that have been encrypted like it never ever happened. And it's really, and like I said, it's been out for years. So don't think that it's hopeless. Don't think that it's inevitable no matter what you do. And certainly don't think, why would anybody want to attack me? If you've watched our videos, you've heard me say this 100 times minimum. They don't know who you are, and they don't care who you are. We're not talking about JBS Meat Supply Colonial Pipeline attacks. Hackers don't want to be on CNN. They don't want to make headlines in the Washington Post. They want to make money and continue to make money. And the way to do that is to stay under the radar. Don't make headlines. Attack small businesses. Collect $5, $10, $50,000 per incident, and blast out these con jobs at scale. That's where the real money is in the criminal hacking industry. So don't think it can't happen to you. I don't care how small you are.
No, that's spot on. It's really, and we say this a million times, it's not a matter of if you'll have a cyber attack, it's when. And if you're listening to this and maybe you haven't really looked into what you're doing for security, or you're just overall looking to enhance your overall security infrastructure within your company, or just kind of evaluate and assess what you have to see if there's any potential gaps. That's something that we do often, of course, with our clients, but also anyone that may not be a client, but just looking to really get started in creating that those layers of security, implementing an EDR tool, implementing that security training. If that's you and you want to have a quick conversation to kind of see where you're at and see what you need, of course, we'd be happy to help you and see how we can help you out best. You can reach us out via email, phone call. They'll be talking to me. And one thing that we offer often is a free assessment to really take that first step to figure out what you have and what you need. If that's something you're interested in, feel free to reach out. Of course, we'll be doing more videos regarding topics around AI, what security tools you may need. So, of course, feel free to ask any questions, but also tune in next week and watch more of our videos if you need any tips, tricks, or have any questions as well.